Celebs like Miley Cyrus and Jessie J are just a few of the stars smashing the boundaries of sexuality. Their videos are case in point. Both have been described as having fluid sexual preferences, a description that may now be shared by 1 in 2 young people between the age of 18 and 24.
It could be that the incidence of celebrities coming out and that being highly reported in the media is creating an environment where young people feel more confident to express themselves. So if they're seeing a role model that they look up to coming out and talking openly about their sexuality, or even their sort of inner dialogues about their sexuality, then that creates a much more supportive environment for young people.
These are a few more stars whose sexualities have left an impression on public opinion. Here at Madame Tussauds, the influence of celebrities is on full view. In our fame-obsessed culture, pop stars like Miley Cyrus have a huge amount of influence, especially amongst younger people. But although she acts as a role model for bisexuals and gender-fluid people, there's also momentum building in local communities. Jacob and Rebecca on my left, and Krishna and Shardeen on my right, are self-defining queer artists and activists, challenging the dominance of heterosexuality.
We're not saying that family structure is invalid, but we're saying that other people live in different ways.
I am quite fluid in my identification in terms of my sexuality. And so being able to access news stories, people who are doing really great projects, people who are active in their local communities around the world, having that in my social media feeds on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Tumblr, that informs me. And I notice that it informs a lot of other young people as well.
There can be a tendency maybe for older generation to say, well, it's just a cool, trendy thing because Miley Cyrus is doing it, without actually recognising that Miley is just reflecting a cultural awakening, I would call it.
So are these friends a new norm? When over 1,000 people were asked to plot themselves on a sexuality scale, 1 in 4 said something other than entirely heterosexual, a figure that rose to 1 in 2 for under 24s, compared to just 7% for the over 50s. Despite this, there was skepticism over the stats and what they mean.
After same-gender marriages were legalized, more people were attacked on the streets because that was suddenly in the mainstream news, and people were like, oh, those people might be queer, let's beat them up. So although we have legal rights, it doesn't necessarily make us safer to walk down the street at night.
This discussion on sexuality is not entirely new, but it is being transformed by social media. A discussion these guys hope will lead to greater self-acceptance and safety.